There's a term, generative tension, and what that is really the tension in any system when you're trying to change something. But it's more complex than that. It's really two parts. There's awareness, and then there's tension. You need to have an awareness of what's going on, what it is that needs to change, what the issue is, however you want to look at it that way. The minute you become aware of it, there's a certain tension to correct it, to mitigate it, whatever the situation is. And so then you go about fixing it, and then it happens again. It's like a repeat. Awareness, tension, repeat, awareness, tension, repeat. And when this continues for a while, what you get is a group of people that are in a growth mindset rather than just a settled mindset. You become aware of something, you generate a little bit of tension as you try and fix it, but then you tell somebody else about it, and somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else, and so it scales, like from you to 10 people, each of those 10 people to 10 people. And so it doesn't take long before your whole organization is working to scale itself and to grow better, because you introduced this little bit of tension in the system when you became aware of something that wasn't right. Well, when you hit that person that's not in line with the organization, people want to blame the person. It's kind of like they talk about the Peter Principle. They've reached their level of competence. Usually what it is, at the level of people we're talking about, it's not a competency issue, it's a developmental issue. They've reached their level of development. I mean, you don't expect a 14-year-old to act like a 25 or 25-year-old to act like a 40-year-old. Those are different developmental phases. And so when you have an executive that reaches that limit, then you need to work with that executive to develop further, to be perhaps less focused on errors and more focused on the purpose, to be less focused on pleasing people around him or her and more focused on having them operate as a team. You take the same energies, whether it's the getting things done energies or the interacting with people energies, and you get them to do them with a purpose rather than a fear of an error. It's a shift in perspective, and then when you make that shift in perspective, then the cycle the person in is a growth cycle, not the same kind of cycle your air conditioner runs where it gets the temperature and stops, it gets the temperature and stops. What that is that's a cycle designed to maintain. And usually when you find executives that are only worried about making mistakes, all they're trying to do is stay even with where they are. And when you're in a world that's getting more and more complex, and like, anybody think our world isn't getting more complex, right? You need to be able to scale your leadership up and grow personally on a continuing basis, rather than just maintaining. Because if you're just maintaining, it's like having inflation around, you're going to fall behind.